Greetings, my friends. I am indeed Oliver Joyce from the battlegrounds of Whiskeybarrel Studios. Well, there's no battlegrounds going on right now, and that's what this video is all about. If you recall, my last video was probably almost 2 weeks ago, and I proudly said, guys, guess what? Multiplayer is coming in the next couple of days. And you know what? It was. For a few glorious days, we had multiplayer, and there were the clashing of swords and shields ringing out across the world as people actually got to fight each other. And then Calamity struck, and the multiplayer server has been down since the weekend. So we're now, 5 days since it's been down. So firstly, I got to apologize for that, and I'm going to tell you why. That's the reason right there. Mo multiplayer, mo problems. Multiplayer is hard. It's hard to build. It's harder than I thought. I mean, I kind of knew, and I've read this from many other developers. Anytime you're building a multiplayer game, basically double the development time on it, just because there are so many extra layers of complexity to it. And if you recall, those who are longtime fans of Sword and Sandals, I already built a multiplayer game once, back in 2007 or 2008 or so with Sword and Sandals 3. I didn't build that alone, of course. I had a few people working with me back at the old company building that. And that lasted a little longer than this one. That one lasted, 3 weeks maybe less, before those servers went down and never came online again. That was it. That was this brief window of awesomeness, and we had something like 1,000 concurrent users on one particular day, and I was thinking, this is amazing. Different era, different technology, but again, same result. Multiplayer server is down. However, good news, it's not down forever. I want to just preface all this whole video is just by saying it's coming back. I just wanted to say it's coming back. What's been going on? Well, we had a quiet launch. It was a soft launch of multiplayer. I put a patch notes up on Steam and then told some fans in Discord, but I haven't been shouting it out to the world so much that multiplayer is here, other than via the YouTube channel, which gets a couple hundred views every time. But I expect it will become bigger when the game goes into full launch, which I'll talk about that real soon. However, the game was out for a few days, and people can create gladiators and fight each other and so on. However, there was a couple of problems. I'm going to tell you all about them right after this quick shout out to my Patreon supporters: Dane Simoneau, Daniel Funches, Pookie, Barty X, Brandon K, Ilya Gurovich, Pie Punch, Noah Gudajan, Stone God, Timmy Boy, X Up Omega, Jeff Rovhex 3D, Hopeless, and Eunice. A hearty bunch who have stuck with me this whole adventure, and I look forward to bringing you many more adventures in the future. If you would like to be a Patreon, that would make my day, and you too will get a shout out in my YouTube videos, and you guys also get a mostly weekly newsletter just detailing my trials, tribulations, and adventures in game development. So yeah, it's exciting. Please join. But yeah, multiplayer had one major problem when I launched, and it's one of those things that probably I should have tested it more locally. 100% I should have, but multiplayer is also one of those things that you really want to test in volume. And so because the game is in early access, there is a lot of sort of pseudo beta testing that goes on by the players, and I'm eternally grateful for that, because you guys discover bugs that I never could. And one of the bugs in this game was the desyncing between the battles. So it was something I mentioned briefly in the last video, and it's something I thought I had solved, but it wasn't quite solved. And what that means is what one gladiator sees on one screen is not what the other gladiator sees on the other screen. So, I might attack you, and in my screen it says I've done 50 damage and destroyed your helmet. On your screen, you see you parried the attack, and it comes up as a block. And basically from then on, our battles are never quite the same, ending up meaning I look like I've seen a win on my screen, you see a win on your screen. We're not sure who's right, and that is a fundamental issue in multiplayer. And because of that, I said, you know what, I got to take this down to fix it up. So I took multiplayer offline last Friday, And then as I did, we discovered some security flaws in the database and some technical issues. And so it's been down longer than we anticipated. But did give me time to sync things up, which is really good. I'm pretty confident now that the version that you get next will be, if not completely synced, mostly synced. I did a whole bunch of battles. Everything seems syncing up. The correct armor gets destroyed, the correct spell effects, the correct status effects, the correct animations, everything seems to be really synced. So what you see on one screen is what you see on the other screen. And, battles play out the way they should. So fingers crossed that works. And what else have I done for those who've seen multiplayer? I've added a realm room system that is only 8 rooms, down from the 36 rooms there was, which is basically a little too diluted in terms of like where gladiators ended up. So I've basically gone 8 rooms between gladiators level 1 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, and so on, so on, so on, right up to level 80, of course. You can also select your preferred arena. So when you challenge someone else, they get a little screen saying, oh, hey, Foozle the Gladiator challenges you in the Fatal Arena. And you go, yep, cool, that works for me. Or you can say, no, thank you. But that previously, whatever room you're in was the arena. So if you were in the first room, it was a Willard Sound Arena and so on. But I thought, well, let's make it a bit more like a sort of a Tekken style multiplayer game where you can choose which arena you want to fight in. So I think that is a nice addition. A few other additions: leaderboards will be improved. You will see the ELO power ranking system, not the band, not Electric Light Orchestra for those older than me, but it's I don't remember what it stands for, but it's a chess-based ranking system that sort of gives you a score based on your wins and losses versus other similar gladiators of your kind of level. So that will be in the next patch too. And there is also improved multiplayer, just a general better experience. And fingers crossed, the servers will stay up indefinitely. You know what I mean? From here on in, there's no plans to take them down, and we've got a lot better control over it. Please stand by. Technical difficulties. Just off camera, I just spilled my drink. I went to get it and it knocked over. Technical difficulties indeed, and that kind of reflects the experience that I've had over the last week or so in multiplayer, and the probably experience you guys have had. It's been a challenge. It has been a challenge, but it's nearly working. And look, in the next, I expect this will be up and running in the next 24 hours or so. Touch wood. Don't touch the drink bottle, because technical difficulties. So the plan is get multiplayer up and running in the next day or two properly, and then I'll be monitoring it and doing little bug fixes and balancing and so on. And then on March the 4th, the game will go into full launch, and that will be the Swords and Sandals Immortals experience. I'll continue to patch it and balance it and so on. But we'll be done. I cannot wait for March. It's going to be very exciting for me and for you. And, I'm sure this will build up the multiplayer community a bit, because in right now, the multiplayer experience is probably only a handful of people. But as soon as we have multiplayer, the full launch, I expect more players will come, and then there'll be sort of like this, constant stream of players coming through. And then at some point, the Android build will be coming, and that will hopefully support multiplayer, and then you'll have more basically cross-platform multiplayer, so you can play against people in other builds and so on. No idea about the iOS build, when that might be ready. That's a whole nother can of worms. Thanks, Apple. So but look forward to multiplayer being up in the next few days, and you're going to have to start a new character and also download the latest patch. There was a patch that came out today that did a whole bunch of just single player bug fixes in the meantime, but it also disabled multiplayer. So download the patch after that, and I'll do a bigger announcement on the Steam site and Twitter and all the rest. And we'll probably do a fun video next week where we're actually displaying some multiplayer battles against real players. So you'll be notified when this is coming. But please just keep checking Steam and so on if you're a real fan of multiplayer and want to see it live in action. So thanks for your patience, guys, is all I wanted to say. It has been a challenging time, and I've learned a lot. Multiplayer doesn't always, add much to the bottom line. It's something you do for your fans and something you do because you want to do, but definitely doesn't improve sales, and it increases cost and complexity and bugs and everything. I'm gonna have a whole nother video about multiplayer, and also just about the a post-mortem of the game once it's done, and I'll kind of talk about what went right, what went wrong, and so on. That might even be a good video for a hike, a good time for a hike, because I've gone out on a hike in a long time. So that'll be coming. Until next time, my friends, bye for now.